As film fans, we've become accustomed to movies being pushed back from their original release dates. However, one of the most highly anticipated films of 2015 just got moved up. Marvel's upcoming film, Ant-Man, will be the first film in Marvel's Phase 3, rolling out after the Avengers 2. And it was originally supposed to open on November 6, 2015, but it will now hit AMC Theatres everywhere on July 31st, 2015. The new date means Ant-Man will be opening just 3 months after the opening of the Avengers 2, which hits AMC Theatres on May 1st, 2015, and just 2 weeks after the opening of the upcoming Batman and Superman movie. Ant-Man is being directed by Edgar Wright, who also directed films like Shaun of the Dead, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and The World's End, which is playing in AMC Theatres now. So, John, what do you think about this date change for Ant-Man?
As a film fan, this is super exciting. Like you were mentioning, this is normally what we're used to hearing, like with G.I. Joe and Pacific Rim and a whole bunch of other films, is that this movie you've been looking forward to, set it off another 6 months. It's pushed further back. This is really cool, but it says something else to me. By moving it from November and moving it just 2 weeks before Batman Superman, it feels to me like Marvel is playing a little bit of chicken with Warner Brothers. And it tells me they've got a lot of faith in this project. They must have an awful lot of faith in it. They've got a great director in Edgar Wright. We still don't know who Ant-Man is going to be played by. Trust me, Marvel and Disney know. They've known for a long time. Mm-hmm. We just don't know yet. But overall, I think this, moving it up, moving it into the hornet's nest when all these other big movies are opening, 2015 is already such a huge year. But I'll tell you the other thing it might mean. Moving it off November might mean that Marvel may be looking at moving another film up into November. Mm-hmm. So it's conceivable at this point, with them moving Ant-Man into July and freeing up that November date, it's possible, however unlikely, to quote Star Wars, that we might see a Doctor Strange in November of 2015. We might see a Black Panther in 2015. I don't know that that's the case. I'm purely speculating, but it does open up a lot of interesting possibilities. Amy Rose, what do you think?
Inconceivable. That's what that just reminded me of when you said that. I just watched Princess Bride over the weekend. So good. The number one thing that I would take with this news is that they have confidence in this film, because July is a much hotter date than November. I mean, Ant-Man is definitely, a hot property, but not compared to the Thors and the Hulks of the world, which, really unite fans and non-fans alike of the comic book lore, because it has really opened up audience with all the standalone films, with the Avengers, with all of that. And Ant-Man, while, we know Hank Pym very well, a lot of people don't know him as much. Now, Edgar Wright, they can also have confidence in him because, The World's End, his last movie, opened to about $38 million, I believe, which is not crazy huge, but it's not a failure on a $20 million budget. It's considered a success. But he still has that cult classic appeal and that name to him. So it's definitely saying to me, we think that he's going to do this property justice. July is a much hotter month for these kind of blockbuster comic book movies. And yeah, it's pretty bold to go 2 weeks after a film that we're pretty confident is going to stay, the Superman Batman movie. Pretty confident that's going to take the number one spot 2, maybe 3 weeks in a row. So it will be very interesting to see how Ant-Man affects that, because, we've been talking about that film for months and it's not going to stop anytime soon. So I definitely have confidence. And the other thing that definitely brought up, we've heard that they have 2 or 3 pending titles on the board, a couple of which that they actually slated in release dates. So I would definitely think, a Black Panther, a Miss Marvel film, who knows? Doctor Strange, there's all these names we've tossed around. But that definitely could be a November date, especially, again, building for these second tier in the eyes of, the more popular comic book film fans and stuff. So yeah, interesting news all around. I love Edgar Wright's style. I loved Scott Pilgrim. So I'm really excited to see what he does again with a comic book property.
What a great summer. 2015. Wow. Oh, yeah. We should all just move in to AMC. Let's just, can we do that?
We can do that. We got space.
Move in
epic year.
Never leave.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.